Okay, so here I'm treating this with copper arsenate. This is no longer available anymore. This was for preservative for wooden foundations below grade. It was called the dark green, which you just can't get it anymore. I don't know what's available today. Perhaps someone could let us know what sort of things are as good as this. I have, this is better than going into the landfill. We might as well use it, right? I mean, otherwise it just goes to toxic waste. Who knows what they'd do with that kind of thing. I personally think that this is the proper ethical use of that sort of stuff. Okay, and so if anybody has any of this stuff, I would certainly take it off your hand. Okay, so we're at the back of the building, and this is the one where we're going to put the gargoyle gutters in to keep it from dropping on here. But this is going to be a deck, and I want the water, and this would be a bad spot for rot. It's on the north side of the building. It's always moist and damp on this side. So what we want is a positive water flow. And if things do get wet, we should want some treatment. Okay, so I've got this. Now, we don't want to build our decking right up against the building. Although we do want our decking right up against the building. I'm going to make standoffs on this after we're wrapped this in ice shield. Okay, our decking is approximately that thick in our siding. You won't really see this. And that'll give us a positive water flow. Okay, so we'll just make a little diamond point standoff here. And then we're going to add a ledger there so that there is continuous water flow. Then our decking will hover over this. So our decking will come to the wall, but there'll be a positive water transfer with treatment. We'll wrap this with ice shield. Then our sheathing comes on. Yes, the sheathing might deteriorate, but I don't think so. I don't like to wrap the sheathing end. It's better to have it wick dry. We could lift it up a little bit or whatever, but this is the way I'd like to do it. And we're doing it before it gets too wet here, and that will, well, let's hope, extend a potential problem. On north sides where dew is wet. Okay, remember the area between here is where the wall sits, and so we want a insulation cavity. That's why that's sitting out on the outside in the first place, which is fine. Okay, you can see it's on the outside. Okay, and so anyway, this is my solution. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm wrapping blueskin now. Staple it, guys. Sure, you can get the the paint on basically contact cement stuff, but that really is only necessary for below foundations. Anything that's going to have something nailed to it doesn't require it. It just keeps it stuck until the pressure of siding or whatever. But just nail it. It's much better. Okay, so it's pretty good. We're down here. This allows this portion to be breathable. Should water get under there, water can migrate out of there. We don't want to wrap the whole thing, man. These guys wrapping their houses tighter than a fiddler's fart, to me, is just a disaster. Okay, so there's our management, and that is going to direct the water away. Okay. Notice that the sheathing's not on. That's actually behind the sheathing. Okay, and that's because my deck is at the exact same level as the interior floor. So we need an isolation that drains. I'll show you some close-up details of that. We're now going to work on the gutter, the built-in gutter. This is another form of management here. Now, because the roof's so low out here, I don't want a roof overhang to smack us in the head, so the gutter's actually up about here. So it's quite non-obtrusive, right? But we don't want water running down the wall. Notice I've left the release paper on that half of the ice shield so that we can get up and wrap this out to shoot out this end. I'll try to work on that today and see how far I can get. Okay, so now we got the sheathing on, covering and lapping this component. We don't want anything wrapped on here. We want that to be breathable. If anything gets wet in this wall, we want it to wick out the end. Okay, so the last thing to do is just fill these in. can see we got great protection, water protection. I'll probably fold a piece of tin like this as a UV protectant. Although this is the north wall, never really see any sunlight. It also is a nice visual cast. But you can see this is the proper way to do it, if you ask me. Don't put wrapping up onto your sheathing, guys. Put it up here. Now, you know, you could leave the rim board off and do that, right? So, I mean, I think that's a better airtight, waterproof system. Like, I don't know what to say. So I'm going to do the sill pitched, and then we'll wrap the windows. And I'll cover these in Super 6 because we're going to manufacture the windows probably, well, not this year. Anyway. Okay, so that's the pitch for the window. Taper jig and the planer. Old piece of wood, little edge. Pretty simple. That becomes the pan flashing for the window. That goes in for shield. Okay, here it is installed. Of course, it covers the aspenite. You want your layers to work as if there isn't anything there. So that's pitched. I'm only coming in 3 inches. That's plenty. Don't need to go all the way to the inside. Okay, so here we go. Put some flex wraps in the corner. And I don't use the spray adhesive, guys. I don't know. It seems like a nightmare to work with. Just staple it. Okay, and I'm pretty happy with that. I find the stuff, if it's dry and it's clean material, we're good. So we've got built-in pans. We're not flat pans here. We're pitching away. Rest is just tar paper openings. And, you know, we're doing good there. I might just put a little preservative on the aspenite there as just a precaution. And that'll be pretty good. I'm ready to start working on the gutter. So wish me luck. Anyway, that's how I do a window pre-pan. Okay, I'm at the box bay window. Window is in between this component. So put a small pitch, right, shielded that. We're, you know, spanning the timber and the wall. And we're going to button up this with plastic from, you know, about here for the winter, because we're not building those yet. Still a good amount of hours in a day. Had a great visit from Alex from Bestoke Woodworks here in Ottawa today. We had a great chat about the millwork scene here in Ottawa. And you know what? That sort of distraction is good when you're physically working. So I've buttoned up the windows. In fact, putting in all of the, well, the framing wasn't finished on the front here, right? You can see that the actual, this shield actually is underneath the siding. So that all got buttoned up, as well as pitched windowsills on, obviously. Now, the most loveliest thing I've ever bought is an upholstery stapler, guys. Look at that. I just love it. You know what? Staples are cheap. So we're buttoned up over here. We got, you know, this is nicely buttoned up. Okay, so I still have, you know, you can see this wasn't really done yet. So you can see the ice shield is coming up. And remember, that was the foam. That was the 2-inch rigid foam, is the a thermal break, and so this is tidied up pretty good. I'll probably get that done. I'm going to cover these up with with Super 6 on the outside, so I can heat the place generally. But as you can see, got a nice detail there. Shingle can come up underneath here. This will be flashing, and this will be the continuous bead molding of the window stool. So I'm pretty happy with that. If I can get that other side done, I've got the windows down there are sealed, as well as the one over there. And if I think what I'll do is just maybe buy some aspenite for now before I'm making the grill. And you know, it's going to look pretty good. Turns look pretty good. Nicely done. I'll see what else I can get tidied up. I then just got the roof to do, which is looking pretty buttoned up. Got a little bit of openness over there, and I can patch that in when I do, but there's not anything open on. The cricket's sealed extremely well. Okay, and you know, we got our wall flashings on, and so I'm pretty happy with what I think is water management. So, you know, just catching that last little bit of the day, you know. Lovely little sunset. Farmers are out cutting their fields, so it's it's getting there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Okay, well, I've got all the rest of my pine stored away. This is the stuff I didn't use. This is all clear 2-inch stock, clear 2-inch stock. This stuff is still good. There's lots of clear cuttings in that. And there's a bunch of wide 1x stock, that's all dried. This is all my crown pre-milled. And right, get the last. I got a little bit of rain on some of it, but that'll bake off. This thing heats up, and it's actually pretty good. So got enough for doors, windows, everything I need. That's good. I'm all covered there. And this thing's nice and dark, and once the sun's out, it's amazing the temperature difference. Okay, so I'm processing shingle today. This is salvaged 24-inch butt quarter sawn shingle. I'm cutting off a foot. This will be attached to the wall. This stuff's amazing. Moss on it and everything, beautifully weathered. This is still good for at least another, well, on a vertical surface, who knows, probably indefinitely. So, you know, this will be a 5-inch exposure. The other end of it will be used on the tower. I'll sort through this, and also a starter course on the roof. I've got full, these are 24s, vertical grain, and right, this is quarter sawn, vertical grain. You can see it's heartwood. That's going to be some decorative stuff on the tower, and well, hopefully I can get the face of my building in this, and anything else around the back I'll be using that stuff. Tower is actually got a color on it. Okay, so for my drip edge, because I don't want to add the little $5 metal piece, come on, that's for custom builders. This is for people that make absolutely everything, and so we're gonna make the drip start. Now this works really good. The end grain soaks up and actually causes it to drip right away. Won't roll back. It'll also extend the asphalt edge out approximately 3 inches from the edge, because this will be about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches, maybe about that much. I'll show you what that looks like from the underside. So here's what it looks like from the underside. Nice and clean. So you can see I got to prepare all of that before I start my asphalt, because I want to use the really narrow pieces for this, which doesn't need wide pieces. It's only a single course, and that's got to go on all the edges of all the roofs. Okay, and here is what we're using the weathered for, is the wall.
So we've taken the weathered. We have a 5-inch exposure, which, you know, it's almost a 2. Okay, so here's the exposed siding. This will be weaved with tar paper every second course. So the tar paper would start here, run up underneath every second course, drawing water out to the front. We'll start off with full 16s. The cut ones are only from 24-inch butts. The base will be, I have a package of used 16-inch butts, and we'll, once we get up the wall, we'll go to these shorter shingles. So the whole front, I think that the whole front will be in this and the side, but I just love the texture. It's excellent color. Gray and the burgundy is just a lovely color. It should look really quite striking. I don't think you'd be able to get any better texture. Now, of course, that'll be trimmed. There's not a lot of shingle on the face of this. The largest section of that sort of shingle will be exposed at the side here, but even that just terminates up into there. All of this stuff's burgundy. So I should have enough. Anyway, that's why there hasn't been much activity. I'm working on just getting stuff together. Thanks for following.